It's the dream matchup in the under-17 division of the Eastern Zone of the secondary schools basketball competition, with Trinity East coming up against the Giant Killers from Tunapuna Secondary. Trinity knocked off Mount Hope in one semi-final, while Tunapuna got 33 from Jaheim Evelyn to hold off Holy Cross by 10, as we hear from Ruskin Mark.
Tunapuna got out the gates quickly and rode the hot hands of Jaheim Evelyn to shock Holy Cross. It was one-way traffic early as the men from Arima struggled to keep up. And before you could blink, they were in a deep hole down by 16 with 2 minutes left in the first quarter. But when you need a bucket, you dial up the big fella, and Samuel Waldron responded for Holy Cross. His partner in crime was the talented Kalik Robinson Forrester, who finished this one with the left hand for a pretty 2. But just on the buzzer, Evelyn got fouled attempting a 3, and he headed to the line for free throws to end the half, where Tunapuna slowed down significantly but still led 29-14. Then a jailbreak for Tunapuna. I didn't even know they had a prison in the area, but only white shirts were running towards the basket for another easy deuce. And they would keep pouring it on as the Holy Cross defense was non-existent at times. But they always had the ace in the hole in Robinson Forrester, who could manufacture points almost every time that he touched the ball. Boy, they didn't need him to be brilliant, and he was, as they started to climb back into this one. They would keep plugging away, and the big fella also got involved with the rebound and the putback, but Forrester would finish what he started for 2 of his 28 for Holy Cross, but he hurt himself when he caught a knee early in that play. They were down 45-23 and in need of some serious scoring, so who do you call? Forrester, and he delivered. But Tunapuna always had an answer, as their go-to guy was Nikolai Mills, and he was efficient with 18 on the day. But the heavy lifting belonged to Evelyn, who was clinical around the basket. But only Holy Cross knew what was happening, and they stuck around and made a serious push at Tunapuna thanks to Forrester, who had no quit in him despite being hobbled. He would put his head down and go solo to carry Holy Cross for long stretches as they closed to within 10, 62-52 after 3. Tunapuna would end the run with Mills doing the business. But Forrester wasn't done yet, and he had a reply. Then Waldron would help cut into that lead even more. But they kept pushing and found ways to score to keep Tunapuna off balance. That's until Evelyn chimed in with this dagger from long distance for 3 of his game-high 33 points. Things got tight at 73-68 with Holy Cross closing all the time. But Tunapuna kept their poise and they started to pull away again, even as Forrester was doing his thing. Tunapuna shared the rock and eventually prevailed in this one 82-72 to reach the final, with 33 to Evelyn and 18 to Mills, while Forrester had 28 in a losing effort. In the final, Tunapuna would play Trinity College East as they took aim at Mount Hope in the maroon outfits, and like Tunapuna, they jumped all over their opponents early. They led 12-8 after 1 and built on that in the second to take a 31-16 cushion into the third. Mount Hope surprisingly didn't do more of this early, as their superior height and size was an asset they needed to accentuate against Trinity. But they had no answer for Trinity's fast bucket outlet in Soga Somorin, who had good technique around the basket, and he punished loose defending to end with 14 points. Mount Hope kept trying and had success against the sometime-ish Trinity defense, but they just weren't consistent enough in their attacks. But when it worked, they looked capable of doing damage and actually closed the gap to just 7 at 44-37. They would strike fear into Trinity when Trevor Joseph passes up court to the normally clinical Kalen Williams, but never mind, Joseph was there to clean up what he started for 2 of his 12. But Trinity would feature Jovan George when it mattered most, and he responded with 2 more to end with 12. They would put this one to bed with shooting like this as Mount Hope came up short. There was nothing they could do to stop George and company when it mattered, and although they tried down the stretch, it wasn't nearly enough. Trinity prevailed in the end 56-46 to book their place in the under-17 final, with Tunapuna waiting. It should be a dandy. Ruskin Mark, C Sports Extra.